I'm Matt McClure, and this is Currents. What did you do on your summer vacation? These young men learned how to be leaders in the church and the community.
It made me a better leader because I'm not a follower of my friends and whatever my friends do, and I can do my own thing.
Plus, dancing the summer away to a traditional Spanish ritmo.
What Mano Man is trying to do is trying to create that space for other people to come and get together and enjoy, learn about Mexican culture, and those who know Mexican culture teach others about Mexican culture.
And changes are afoot for New York's future priests. Bishop DiMarzio will be here to tell us all about it.
We've combined programs, and we have a stronger program by having it concentrated in one place.
Well, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. In just a few weeks, the question on everybody's lips will not be who's at fault for the U.S. economy's stunning free fall. I guess that, depending on your politics, you've probably already got that question all figured out. No, in the coming weeks, the question that you or I will not be able to escape is, what did you do this summer? Well, some of us will have drool-inducing responses, like the 600 pilgrims of the Diocese of Brooklyn who'll be spending a week in Madrid, Spain, to see the Pope. Others will have the usual, vacation in Disney response, that kind of thing. But there will be those who took the summer as an opportunity to invest in their future. Like the close to 100 middle school boys who were enrolled in Cathedral Preparatory Seminary's Father Edward W. Troike Leadership Program. Now, since the summer of 1968, young men in the 6th and 7th grades have been taking summer classes to prepare for the admissions test to Catholic high schools and to learn the qualities of Christian leadership.
The Father Troike program began as the Cathedral Prep Leadership Program in 1968. In the summer of 1968, 4 priest members of the faculty really looked at the state of the world after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy, and they decided that young men really needed a place where they can come to learn leadership, when very few places were going out of their way to be culturally diverse. The Father Troike program really went out to be as culturally diverse as possible, and really to actively ask these young men, come here. And through the program to say, would you be open to think about the vocation of the priesthood? Now, over the years, the program was extended to our own class of incoming freshmen. And when I became the director of the program, I changed the 7th grade program into an academic preparation for the test for admissions to Catholic high schools, and I implemented a 6th grade program.
Cathedral's helping me because it's over the Father Troike program, it's been teaching me to be a leader. Being a leader, standing up for others and standing up for what you believe in.
It made me a better leader because I'm not a follower of my friends and whatever my friends do, and I can do my own thing.
Sports, for example, sometimes I would have to take over if our team was caught in a bad situation. I would have to take over and help get the team through it.
Summer of my 7th grade going into 8th grade, the principal invited myself and a few of my classmates to come to the leadership program. My mother was overjoyed because I got out of her hair for a summer. But it was also a great experience for myself.
I like it. It's fun because I got to meet all my friends that are going to be in my incoming grade, and I got to learn a little bit and do some sports.
I think Cathedral Prep's like a really good school. I think it will nourish me in my faith.
I go to public schools, and then they don't show about God. They show about the religion, social studies, but they don't show me the more deeper way of God.
One of the nice things as a teacher is that you do see a bit of a transformation from the very first day to the last day. And I guess the greatest thing that you see, one of the nicest things that you see, is their ability to participate. They come in a little nervous, many of them are shy, and then all of a sudden there's a transformation. All of a sudden they're working together as a team. All of a sudden there are friendships that are developing. From the first day where they wanted to get out right away to the last week where you sort of have to throw them out.
The Troike program helped me to come to Cathedral Prep in the summer. If I do good in the school, in the Troike program, they probably might give me a scholarship, and then I might get accepted to the school.
The moment that I left the program, I knew that I'd be back in September of my freshman year. I knew that I would be coming here. And then through my experience here in high school, certainly my vocation grew, and that's where I accepted what God wanted me to do in life.
I'm giving the priesthood some thought, and I believe that if I became a priest, I would be able to change the world just a little bit, like make a difference in the world.
It's a great experience, really, for them, and especially in this day and age where I think our youth, they get a bit of a bad rap. If you come to our program, I think you see a lot of good, faith-filled, caring, and wonderful young men.
Learning great skills for the future. Well, we just showed you there some young men and how they kept their minds in shape over the summer. Well, when we return, we'll show you how some aspiring dancers stayed in shape to a distinctively Latin beat. Welcome back to Currents. I'm Matt McClure. So I've got a question for you now. Do you dare dance danzón? The Cuban dance tradition and predecessor of the popular mambo dance style was brought to Mexico in the 1940s, and it's found new life right here in New York, courtesy of a collaboration between Mano a Mano, that's a nonprofit on a mission to celebrate Mexican culture with the world, and another organization whose name I'm going to try to not butcher here. Okay, here we go. It's called Ballet Folclórico Mexicano de Nueva York. There we go. I'll slow it down and I'll get it somewhere close to right. Well, for every Friday since July, men and women have been putting on their dancing shoes and hoping to put their best foot forward and step beyond their borders into a new world and a new culture.
Danzón is originally from Cuba. The roots are from Matanzas, Cuba. And then in 1915 came to Mexico. And since then, in Mexico it's been dancing danzón until now. And this is a popular dance. Yeah, it belongs to everybody. It's very, very Mexican, very Mexican.
It looks like very slow and it looks easy, but it's definitely not. You have to have some rhythm. Now these classes with danzón, you can teach and then you can show what it's done in your country to other countries. It's just wonderful.
I'm originally from India, and I think dance is a nice way to experience another culture. And it's just kind of cool to think that, you're learning something that people are doing in Mexico, and it's choreographed, and it's, it came from Cuba. It's all, it's quite special. It's my first dance class ever. It was a little challenging. The montuno was a little challenging, but it was also the really fun part, because otherwise it seems a little stately and just older. But the montuno makes it younger and funkier somehow.
There's so many Mexicans that live in the city, so they're bringing their culture with them. So it's important for other people, too, to understand it. Mano a Mano is a Mexican cultural organization that right now they're offering dance classes, literacy classes, and programs, cultural programs across the city.
We are dedicated to arts and culture and to promote the understanding of Mexicans in New York through arts and culture. And so that's currently we're having different workshops and also classes in Mexican music, dance, and visual arts. The name translates to hand to hand. The culture is for everyone, for Mexicans, for non-Mexicans, and it's really across everywhere. And what Mano a Mano is trying to do is trying to create that space for other people to come and get together and enjoy, learn about Mexican culture, and those who know Mexican culture teach others about Mexican culture.
I dance with the Ballet Folclórico Mexicano, so I came here to kind of support a little bit, give a little support, help, get a little more experience with the danzón. So, and learn something new. Every time you come here and every time you come to a class, even if you know, you still learn something. People get to do something new and enjoy something different. It's a beautiful thing to watch and to enjoy.
It's a wonderful experience. It's something that you can do. I mean, being Mexican and being, away from your country, it's very refreshing to do something related to what your cultural background is about.
They do have rhythm. Stay with us. There's much more currents ahead. Coming up, future priests in the New York metro area are coming to Queens. Bishop DiMarzio goes into the deep to tell us why.
It's a good sign that we have more young people, especially those after high school, making decisions to pursue a vocation to the priesthood.
Welcome back. The Cathedral Seminary residence of the Immaculate Conception in Douglaston, Queens is about to get just a bit more crowded. About 35 college-age men have been studying for the priesthood there recently, but that number is about to double. This month, the college seminary program from the Archdiocese of New York will combine with the Diocese of Brooklyn and the Diocese of Rockville Center to make one larger, and leaders hope more efficient, program. Area bishops have been discussing the consolidation for years, but now it's finally becoming a reality. Tonight, our own Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio goes into the deep on the changes. Bishop DiMarzio, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Always good to be with you.
Always good to have you. Now, there are some changes afoot as far as the seminaries go for the three dioceses, Rockville Center, Archdiocese of New York, and the Diocese of Brooklyn. Tell us a little bit about some changes that are coming.
Well, we've combined the philosophy program and the pre-theology program at Douglaston. Douglaston, as you know, was established originally as the philosophy house for the three dioceses, New York, Rockville Center, and Brooklyn. But over the years, the dioceses went their own way. They had room in their own buildings. But recently, as of will be September, we've decided to recombine again. Rockville Center already was sending their philosophy and pre-theology students to Douglaston, and now the Archdiocese will also. One of the main factors is that most of them go to college at St. John's University. So the students from New York in Yonkers were coming every day across the bridge just to go to the school in Queens. So now they're much closer, and we'll have a critical mass together to see if we can have even a better program of formation.
Sure. Any other major benefits from this?
Well, we can combine staff, and it will be less staff in general to handle things. And we've combined programs, and we have a stronger program by having it concentrated in one place.
Sure, sure. And the name is going to remain the same, I imagine?
Yes, it'll be the same.
Okay.
Immaculate Conception Seminary Residence, and that's what it is.
So how many students are we talking about being in one place?
Approximately 80 this time. We had 35, so we almost doubled it, more than doubled it, I think.
Sure. Do you think that that this might serve even maybe as a model for other dioceses to kind of combine and come together in a venture like this?
It's true. Not too many dioceses have college programs, but this is a good model for us. We have many more students now making decisions after high school that they want to pursue the priesthood. So to have a college experience, and ours I think is a good model where they go to a college campus, yet they live together, they have formation together, and they have experience of college while at the same time having the spiritual backup that they need.
Sure. Now some people might say, at least on the surface, oh well, they're consolidating, that must mean that less men are joining the priesthood. Is that the case or not?
Well, actually there's more, so that it's a good sign that we have more young people, especially those after high school, making decisions to pursue a vocation to the priesthood. So we need to have a place where they can be together and can have the formation they need.
All right, and to make room for this move, we should say as well, have offices had to move out of Douglaston to make room for that?
Right, so we're consolidating. That's another benefit, really. And we're consolidating all the diocesan offices in one place in 310 Prospect Park West and some buildings around there, so that we will have everybody in close proximity.
All right, well good. Well, so it makes everything logistically a little bit easier rather than trekking all over the place and all that. All right, well Bishop DiMarzio, thanks so much for being here to explain.
Okay, you're welcome.
Really appreciate it. Stay with us, there's more currents ahead. When we return, a look ahead to World Youth Day through the eyes of a pilgrim.
I think that's the whole point of it, is that we're strengthened by our faith, and then we can be witnesses to a world that really needs us.
And finally tonight, we wrap up this week's show with a word from Father Rob Kegren, parochial vicar at St. Helens Church in Howard Beach. And some of you may know him better as a regular on Sirius Radio's The Catholic Guy, featuring Lino Rulli. I know you're familiar with him. And some of you might even remember him from Bleacher Preachers. That's a series that ran for a season on Net's predecessor, the Prayer Channel. Well, right now, however, Father Rob is heading for Madrid and World Youth Day, where he really has a full plate. In addition to his spiritual duties, he'll be trekking to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, walking roughly 15 miles a day for 3 days on the traditional pilgrimage to the final resting place of St. James the Greater. He'll also hit the airwaves with Lino Rulli, and in fact, he'll be there as an official representative for NET. We caught up with him last week at St. Helens Church to discuss his expectations for the trip, the pilgrimage, and the walk there, and also his coverage of World Youth Day. Yeah, Father Rob Kegren is tonight's eyewitness.
I was asked a number of months ago to consider doing the pilgrimage for the Camino de Santiago and also to cover World Youth Day for NET. And so it's an opportunity for me, I think, more than anything, to experience World Youth Day from kind of a different perspective. The thing I look forward to most is the opportunity to be refreshed by the youth of the church. You know, seeing people from all over the world who come together with a sense of faith, with a sense of trying to encourage their own faith and encourage the faith of others, and more than anything, to be a witness, to recognize the witness of Pope Benedict who will be there, and to be a witness themselves, and then to take what they get at World Youth Day and to bring it back to their own communities. I think that's the whole point of it, is that we're strengthened by our faith, and then we can be witnesses to a world that really needs us. World Youth Day says that the church is still vibrant, that there is still a tremendous amount of energy and enthusiasm about spreading the gospel. There is still so much that the church has to do, that the church wants to do, and that we entrust young people to do. The young people are going to carry on the faith just as it is in every single generation. And the fact that they want to come and have an experience with Pope Benedict, have an experience with each other, and hopefully go back refreshed in their own faith and want to be witnesses, that's what it's all about. It's an interesting opportunity to take the Camino de Santiago, this walk of St. James. If I had to pick a time to go, I probably wouldn't pick the middle of August. It's probably not the most opportune time just because of the heat. I think I'm a little crazy, and there's something penitential about it. I lived in Spain about 6 years ago for a summer. And I can tell you this, it was the hottest summer I've ever experienced in my life. It's going to be a struggle, it's going to be a challenge. But I think the struggle, the challenge is part of the Christian life, that we never were told that life was going to be easy. And if we have these little moments in our lives where maybe we do struggle or are challenged, then we can dedicate ourselves even more to the Lord and show Him how much we believe and how much we want to serve Him each and every day. So a few months ago, I was approached with the opportunity to go to World Youth Day kind of on behalf of NET and to provide some sense of coverage as to exactly what's happening there to the people back home in Brooklyn. And I'm going to have the opportunity to interact with so many of the youth from all over the diocese and get a sense from them as to why they're there and what's inspiring them and their faith. We have so many young people from the diocese. Almost 400 kids are going from the Diocese of Brooklyn to World Youth Day. And that really shows that there's still a tremendous amount of vibrancy and vitality in our diocese, that there are young people who are excited about the faith, who want to go and see Pope Benedict, who want to interact with youth from all over the world. And for me to be able to see that and hopefully to pass that message back through the people of the diocese, through NET, is a great opportunity. What's happening all over the world, what's happening in our diocese, can happen right here. We can inspire others, and particularly we can inspire the youth of St. Helens, the youth of Howard Beach, to get excited about the faith, to not necessarily just want to go to World Youth Day, but to want to be involved, to want to practice their faith, that it's not the worst thing in the world for a young person to come to church, that we can still do all kinds of fun things and come to church at the same time, that the two things aren't mutually exclusive. And I'm hoping that my experience at World Youth Day and my being able to cover it for NET and pass that message back will inspire young people in my own parish right here at St. Helens to want to get involved in the faith.
Obviously, you know, I think we've said this a few times as we're preparing for World Youth Day, but it's like it's so much more than just a trip, and that's obvious when you hear from people like Father Rob and all of the youth that we've been talking to as well in these series of eyewitnesses leading up to World Youth Day and our special coverage there. But man, I tell you what, everybody is just really looking forward to it and really looking forward to the spiritual experience of it, even so much more than just going and being in Madrid and seeing a part of the world that you've never seen. There's this, obviously the spiritual aspect of it is what is really, really important to all of those who are going to be pilgrims. Well, that is it for this edition of Currents. A short programming note for you here. Throughout the month of August, we will continue to bring you a new Currents broadcast every Monday. We'll also be with you every night, though, during our coverage of World Youth Day. As I just mentioned, August 16th through the 21st, we'll be here each night, and we'll have exclusive coverage of the pilgrims from the Diocese of Brooklyn. So be sure and tune in then. Until next time, though, check us out online at currentsny.net. We're also online at Facebook and on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @currentsny. For all of us here at Currents, I'm Matt McClure. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.